Hey everyone, this is Jessicaanndisciacca here, author of the Dark Throne series and Witches of Triora. So I wanted to jump on here today to talk about something that's a bit of a trigger warning for some people. So FYI, if you are triggered very easily and things of that nature, this might not be the real for you. I've already recorded this like 2 or 3 times. I keep maxing out at like 18 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep this shorter and get to my point. But today I would like to jump on here and talk about Awakening the Darkthrone, which is book 1 out of 5 of my Dark Throne series, and the trigger warning that is in there that I've been getting a lot of private messages about from fans that it's been resonating with them a lot. And I wanted to jump on here because I realized that through my writing, I have been imbuing each of my series with tidbits of myself and things that I feel passionate about that are not talked about often. And so with Awakening the Darkthrone, if you have not read that series, one of the trigger warnings is that the main character, Genevieve, does experience sexual abuse, rape. And I would like to preface that I do not go into detail. I do not explain what's going on. It's more like in her head, just what she's thinking about to make herself stay sane in that moment. So it's not anything that's going to, I feel, fluster feathers. I have had people read it that have gone through similar trauma, and so they have not been necessarily triggered by that. So I would like to kind of preface that. But even though it wasn't done so in a detailed form, the fact that I put this scene in my book has really resonated with a lot of fans. And the responses that I've been getting multiple times from people across the world is that thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that an author finally put this in the book and did not strive away from it because it was uncomfortable or because it was a taboo subject. And that to me, as a person who has experienced something similar, that to me is almost heartbreaking, because to call something that somebody else has gone through taboo of things of that nature, or to not address it because it maybe makes some other people uncomfortable, that is telling me that whatever that person experienced and things of that nature needs to stay hidden in the closet because it might make other people feel uncomfortable or something of that nature. And I am a very big avid reader. I do read a lot and things of that nature. And I honestly, to come to think of it, I haven't really read a whole lot of books that have a lot of rape and things of that nature to where you watch a character come back from that situation. A couple of ones I can think about, one that pops to the top of my head is Outlander. It does happen a lot in her series and things of that nature, but it never really affects the main character, Claire. It happens, she kind of goes through it for a second and then she moves on. With this book, Awakening the Darkthrone, you're going to watch Genevieve process through what has happened and watch her grow and choose to grow, books at least 1 through 3. And so that really takes a toll on the character. I had one critic come back, was like, oh, I feel like she just put that unnecessary rape in there, just for sprinkles. Absolutely not. I would never put something that traumatic in there if it wasn't going to add to the character build of that situation. And so this really does. It does affect Genevieve and how she moves forward and things of that nature. But the fact that this situation has resonated with so many fans, I think I've gotten I literally counted before I got on here, it was 27 responses. And this is from people from Australia. I had some from Canada. I had some from the UK, and then the United States as well. To me, that's saying something. That's saying that this book is being talked about. This book is being felt, and this book is connecting with the audience. And that is my purpose. And so, unbeknownst to myself, I have begun through my writing to take a platform, and to basically find my voice in what my calling is and what I feel passionate about. And that is, women's rights. And that is making sure that we have the correct system in place to protect us, to support us, to help us thrive, to pass that down to the next generation, and to break, and I'm going to call them what they are. These are ancestral curses, to break whatever you want to call them, this bad reoccurring wheel that we need to get off of. And 3 years ago, a statistic came out. 1 in 3 women experience something in the nature of sexual abuse. 1 in 3, and that was 3 years ago. Could you imagine the number that it is now today? Even with the metoo movement, the numbers are still too high. I'm a mother of 2 little girls, and I don't have a problem going to jail to protect those 2 little girls. And I know probably every parent in this world feels that way. But the fact that 1 in 3 are still experiencing this, and that means that 1 in 3 women, most likely of who have experienced something similar or are going to experience something similar in life. That is ridiculous. And I don't know if you know a lot about me, but I work with youth daily, and absolutely not. And I'm tired of being told that our traumas that we go through, whether it be physical, emotional, mental, things of that nature, need to be stuffed And for years, we've been told that. Now in 2024, we have these resources of counseling and this community and these groups, and that's wonderful. But still too many times, especially with something as uncomfortable as sexual abuse, we as especially young people feel bad about talking about it. And I know me personally, I'm a people pleaser for a long time. I was a people pleaser probably till about 4 years ago. And I would make sure that I diverted conversations that would make other people feel uncomfortable, even though I and my spirit and my heart might have needed to express myself and share my experiences. I would make sure I would shut up and not say anything about it. And because of that, that rewrote me mentally and emotionally as to how I viewed love, how I viewed conflict, how I viewed emotional manipulation, and how that affected me and things of that nature. Because I was not given a platform to talk about my experiences. I was not given the right resources to heal, and all of these things. And I think nowadays, today, we have those resources. That is great. But we're still being told, no, shh, it's too much. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And the fact that my book, I had one person say, oh, I think she felt, she put that in there unnecessary. Absolutely not. These are things that realistically happen to people that we know every day, and they should be talked about. And there should be a community that is there to support and to lend a helping hand and to help those people and make them know that their situation is shared and their situation is seen and they are heard and they are safe and their self-worth and self-value is never in question. Because I know too many times dealing with young people in my personal life, that is the biggest thing, is that they no longer feel worthy, that they no longer feel like they have self-worth, especially when, either you come from a religious background and things of that nature where they emphasize so heavily on virginity and things of that nature. If that's taken from you, well, what's the point? What do I have now to give? And that is absolutely not the case. And nowhere ever will I ever shut down a young adult who is trying to, use me as basically a soundboard to express themselves as to a trauma that they've experienced. And so, these resources that we have nowadays are great, but something that I've learned in my own personal life and my own personal walk is that the resources aren't going to make it go away. The groups aren't going to fix it. The substances aren't going to erase it forever. All of these things compiled aren't going to fix it. And yes, you were victimized. Somebody chose to take something beautiful and innocent from you. That does not define you. That does not have to affect you moving forward. And that does not, absolutely not, change your self-value and worth. And when you recognize all three of those and you make peace with all three of those, you then have a choice to make. Are you going to allow a situation that was forced upon you by someone evil and sadistic and disgusting to change the course of your life, to take away the calling on your life, to stunt every talent and every gift and every influence you are ever going to make? No. Tell yourself right now, absolutely not. No. But you have to make that decision. Your counselor can't do it for you. Your parents can't do it for you. Your best friend can't do it for you. A lover can't do it for you. A bottle won't do it for you. None of those things will do it for you. You have to make that decision. And will it be a fight for the rest of your life? Sorry, but yes, it will. You will be triggered. Memories will resurface. Things will happen to you. But you know what? The longer you go and the stronger you get from it, the easier those situations are going to be to navigate. And that is what people don't, I feel like, understand. Because in that moment, they are so full of emotion and so full of trauma and so full of like mental torment that they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if anything, I'm here today to tell you that there is a huge light. There is a light at the end of that tunnel that will honestly, once you get to it, make your life better from having to go through it. I know with my own traumas and things like that, I would never go back and change a thing. No matter how traumatic they were for me, no matter how long it took me to get past it, I would never change it, because instead of allowing it to destroy me, even though I still am healing from certain situations, I turned it around and I was able to help other people, other young women that had gone through the same thing that I would not have been a resource for if I hadn't gone through it myself. And to see those beautiful, innocent souls rise up and shine brighter than they ever have because they told, that situation, you will not define me. You are not going to dictate how my life unfolds. That is the best gift in the entire world, is to use your circumstance to weaponize it, and to show those people who might have victimized you before and saw you as nothing more than a body, to say, no, watch me grow, watch me make a network, watch me help those, watch me blow the horn so that nothing like this will ever happen to the next generation underneath me. But the only way we get to do that, the only way we get to blow that horn is together. Because I'm here to tell you right now, one person, I can affect one person, okay? What if we had 1,000 people affecting 1,000, and then they affected another 1,000, and then it went on and on and on and on and on. And then some people blew up and became platforms for these situations to discuss and to make these communities and to grow these resources and to make other people feel safe to come forward and to voice their situations. You know what? I guarantee you, those sadistic bastards are going to think twice about ever doing it to anyone else again, because they know that their butts are going to be on a target. And I'm going to be the first one they're throwing in the dark. I don't know about you, but I am, because this is done. As a mother of 2 beautiful little girls, I will never, and I will use every single weapon in my arsenal to make sure that that will never happen to them. And as a teacher and as an educator, I would lay my own life down to make sure that those babies are protected. And we need to stand together. We need to create a community of like-minded voices, because one voice can be heard, but imagine 1,000. You know, and again, we have the Me Too movement and things of that nature. And I still don't understand why so many young individuals are scared to come forward. And yes, it is an uncomfortable situation, but we have to be the reason. We're not making these situations comfortable, whether, them not seeing it enough, whether, again, and I think about today with social media and books and things of that nature. These are things that are in thousands of people's hands, that people are watching, millions of people watching across the world. And so you are showing them what is acceptable in the world. Well, you know what? If we always divert from dealing with the situation, of course they're not going to feel like it's okay to talk about. Of course they're not going to seek out help, because they don't watch it playing out. And so back to what I was saying about Awakening the Dark Throne, you are going to see the main character play out in the next, for sure, 3 books, this situation and how it's going to grow her as an individual and change the course of the script. And, I did that on purpose because I wanted to show those people that were resonating with the story that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And the beautiful thing is that once you get to that light, you get to be the light for somebody else. And how amazing is that? Again, because if we are in a world where we don't extend our hand and help our brothers and sisters out, what in the hell is our purpose? Why are we here? What legacy are we leaving? What influence did you make? After you're gone and dead, and your first generation sectoration forgets about you, what's left? And you need to make those impacts now, because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of our society, and especially females in general, reliving the same unhealthy cycle over and over again. And with me and mine, it stops. It stops now. And the only way that I'm going to do that, and the only way I'm going to ensure that, is to make sure that I am setting a good example for my girls, that I am making sure to surround myself with healthy people that support me, so it shows them what a healthy tribe is, and to make sure that I never, ever pass somebody on the street that needs my help. And I never look away at somebody because it makes me feel uncomfortable, because I could have helped them out in their darkest time. I could have been a lifeline for them or a light, but I turned away because it made me feel icky. So what? It's not about you. It's about all of us. It's about our youth. It's about our generation after us. It's about the world that we're building. So to kind of sum it all up, I have, taken a stance on just basically women's rights, and just basically being able to stand up and talk about what is going on in this world. Because if I'm not willing to talk about it, if you're not willing to talk about it, if my children aren't willing to talk about it, and we are too uncomfortable to talk about the situation, it's never going to change. We're going to sit here and repeat the same cycle over and over again until too many hearts are broken, too many souls are cracked, and humanity, as we know it, has dissipated. And I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to let that happen. So I would like to thank right now all of those fans that reach out to me, that I was able to connect with on a deeper level. And, I hope that this really talks with you or resonates with you, just as a human, even if you're not a book lover and things of that nature. I just wanted to make that connection and to kind of speak out and give those individuals that reached out to me a voice, because, again, the power of our voice. And now that we have social media, God, what a beautiful thing. We can reach millions. Imagine the impact that we can have. So thank you, each and every one of you. If you've stuck along with me for all 14 minutes of this clip, I appreciate it. Thank each and every one of you. And again, if you ever need anything, reach out, message me. I am here. I will do my best to get to you as fast and quickly as possible. And again, I'm here for anything, whether it be this, just to say, hey, whatever it is, let's connect. So thank you guys, each and every one of you. I hope you find your calling and your voice, and you're able to make an impact too that affects the generation after you.